Sarah Thompson, an 18-year-old fresh out of high school, stepped into the bustling world of retail with a mix of excitement and nerves. She'd landed her first job at Trendwave, a trendy clothing store in the heart of the city's largest mall. The store's bright lights, neatly folded stacks of jeans, and upbeat pop music filled the air, creating an energy Sarah loved. She was determined to prove herself, not as someone's daughter, but as a hard-working employee. With her warm smile and knack for helping customers find the perfect outfit, Sarah quickly became a favorite among shoppers. She memorized product codes, mastered the cash register, and even stayed late to help restock shelves, all while juggling her community college classes. Her manager, Karen Mitchell, was a stark contrast. In her mid-40s, Karen ruled the store with an iron fist, her sharp voice cutting through the hum of shoppers. Her tightly pulled-back hair and pinched expressions seemed to broadcast her constant frustration. Karen had a habit of targeting employees for the smallest mistakes, her critiques laced with condescension. To her, Sarah's enthusiasm was almost an annoyance, as if a young employee's eagerness threatened her authority. Coworkers whispered about Karen's temper, but Sarah tried to stay positive, believing hard work would earn her respect. It was a chaotic Saturday afternoon, the mall teeming with weekend shoppers. The store was a whirlwind of activity, customers rifling through racks, kids running between displays, and the phone ringing off the hook. Sarah darted between tasks, folding sweaters, assisting a mother-daughter duo with matching outfits, and scanning items at the checkout. In the frenzy, she accidentally misplaced 3 price tags on a display of graphic tees, a minor error in the grand scheme of the day's chaos. But Karen, eagle-eyed and ready to pounce, noticed immediately. She stormed over, her heels clicking sharply on the polished floor. "Sarah," she bellowed, her voice echoing over the store's music. "Are you even trying? This is pathetic. 3 price tags wrong? Do you know how unprofessional that looks?" Shoppers paused, their heads turning. A teenage customer nearby winced, and Sarah's coworker, Jamal, froze mid-fold, his eyes wide. Sarah's cheeks flushed crimson, her heart pounding as she stammered, "I'm sorry, Karen, it was an accident. I'll fix it right now." Karen wasn't having it. She stepped closer, her voice dripping with disdain. "Don't give me excuses, Sarah. Maybe retail's not for you if you can't handle basic tasks. You're lucky to even have this job." The words stung like a slap. Sarah's throat tightened, but she swallowed her tears, nodded, and hurried to correct the tags, her hands trembling. The rest of her shift felt like walking on eggshells, with Karen's glare following her every move. What Karen didn't know was Sarah's secret. Her father, Michael Evans, was the CEO of Trendwave's parent company, a retail empire spanning hundreds of stores nationwide. Sarah had begged him not to tell anyone, insisting she wanted to earn her place without his influence. Michael, a reserved but principled man in his 50s, respected her wishes, proud of her independence. But that evening, alone in the cramped break room, surrounded by lockers and a flickering fluorescent light, Sarah couldn't hold it in anymore. She pulled out her phone and called her dad, her voice shaky. "Dad, I love this job, but my manager, she humiliated me in front of everyone today. I don't know what to do. I don't want to quit, but it's so hard." Michael's voice was calm but firm on the other end. "Sarah, you're stronger than this. I'm proud of you for handling it on your own, but no one gets to treat you, or anyone, like that. I'm coming to the store tomorrow." Sarah hesitated, worried about making a scene, but trusted her father's judgment. She hung up, took a deep breath, and returned to her shift, determined to push through. The next morning, the store was quieter, with soft sunlight streaming through the glass entrance. Karen was in her usual mood, snapping at a new hire for folding shirts unevenly. Then the doors swung open, and Michael Evans walked in. His tailored navy suit and confident stride stood out against the casual mall crowd. His salt and pepper hair and steady gaze gave him an air of quiet authority. Karen, assuming he was just another demanding customer, barely looked up from her clipboard. "Sir, we're busy," she said sharply. "Can you wait a moment?" Michael's lips curved into a faint smile. "I think you'll want to make time for me, Ms. Mitchell." Karen froze, her eyes narrowing as she processed his tone. He extended a hand. Michael Evans, CEO of Trendwave Enterprises. The store seemed to hold its breath. Jamal, restocking nearby, nearly dropped a stack of jeans. A cashier's jaw dropped. Karen's face went from flushed to ghostly pale in seconds, her clipboard slipping slightly in her grip. Michael didn't raise his voice. He gestured toward the back office. "Let's talk privately." As they walked away, he paused by Sarah, who was organizing a display. He placed a hand on her shoulder and said loudly enough for the staff to hear, "Sarah, I'm proud of how hard you've been working here." Sarah's eyes widened, a mix of embarrassment and relief washing over her. Customers whispered, and her coworkers exchanged stunned glances. In the office, Michael sat across from Karen, his expression composed but stern. "I've heard about your management style," he began. "Yelling at employees, humiliating them in public. That's not how we run this company. Leadership isn't about power, it's about lifting your team up. My daughter didn't tell me this to get you in trouble. She wanted advice because she loves this job. But I can't ignore what I've heard, not just about her, but about others on your team." Karen stammered, "Mr. Evans, I didn't know she was your daughter. I was just trying to keep standards high." Michael raised a hand. "This isn't about who Sarah is. It's about how you treat everyone. You're not fired, but you'll complete mandatory management training, effective immediately. And you'll receive a formal warning. I expect change." He left the office, and Karen, shaken, later approached Sarah with a stiff apology. "Sarah, I'm sorry for yesterday. It won't happen again." The words were awkward, forced, but Sarah nodded graciously, knowing Karen's pride had taken a hit. Over the next weeks, Sarah kept working, her dedication unchanged. Her coworkers, now aware of her father's role, respected her more for never flaunting it. Karen's demeanor softened, not entirely, but enough to make the store a better place. Employees felt safer speaking up, and the team's morale slowly rebuilt. Sarah's story wasn't just about a powerful father stepping in. It was about a young woman's resilience, a manager's lesson in humility, and a reminder that respect is owed to everyone, regardless of their status. In a world quick to judge, Sarah's quiet strength and the unexpected twist showed that standing up to unfair treatment, even indirectly, can ripple outward, changing a workplace for the better.